In this video, I'm going to go through a complete step-by-step guide on how to get your real estate license in the state of Hawaii. Let's dive right into it.
Audio Jungle.
In this video, I'm going to take you through a complete step-by-step guide on how to get your real estate license in Hawaii. This is going to be a short but very information-packed video, so you know exactly what you need to do, all the requirements, and all the tips you need in order to get your real estate license as quick as possible. So we're going to go into a lot of different things in this video. The very first thing is the basic requirements, so you know exactly what you need to meet in order to even start this process. From there, I'm going to take you through the pre-license education requirements. I'm going to tell you how many hours you need to complete, and I'm going to tell you some of the top schools that I recommend to get this process done at that are state approved. From there, we're going to go into the real estate exam itself. Now, the exam itself has a lot of different things that you need to know about it. I'm going to go into that, and I'm also going to tell you some tips and tricks on how to pass your exam on the very first try. From there, we're going to go into the background check, how to get that done, and the cost associated with it. Then I'm going to go into picking a sponsoring broker. This is one of the most important steps of the process, and so many people get it wrong, and that's why the real estate failure rate is so high in my opinion. I've heard up to 87% of agents fail out of the business, and you want to get this step right. So we're going to go into all the top questions to ask and how to get this step right in the process. From there, I'm going to show you how to apply for your real estate license. And at the very end of the video, I'm going to go through all the costs associated with getting your license, so you have a good estimate on what it's going to cost, how much you have to have saved, and how much each step of this process is going to cost, so you have your budget in mind. So let's dive right into it. First things first, before we dive into all this, make sure to grab this guide. This guide is the complete guide on how to start your real estate career and get your license. On top of that, once you scan the QR code or click the link down in the description below, you're going to get an invite to our new agent support group. Inside that group, you're going to find agents that are currently working on getting their license and agents that have already gotten their license. That way you can go in and ask any question that you need. So first things first, you must be a US citizen or an alien authorized to work inside the United States. You must be at least 18 years old or older by the time you take your exam. You have to have a high school diploma or its equivalent, and you must not have any felonies on your record. So if you meet all these basic requirements, it's time to go to the next step. The next step of this process is getting your pre-license education complete. Now, you want to make sure you pick a state-approved school, and once you pick that school, you're going to have to complete 60 hours of state-approved pre-license education classes, and you must pass your exam with a 70% score or higher. So make sure you pay attention during these classes. Now, I know 60 hours is a ton of time, and you might have other obligations such as a full-time job or other things going on in your life. So I highly suggest you check out online classes or live stream classes that you can take at your own pace. We highly suggest you check out Calibri Real Estate School. They're a top-rated school that can give you this flexibility to get it done on your time. Now, there is an affiliate link down in the description below where you'll be able to access different sales and discounts on classes. So if you click that link, it's going to take you here, and I'm going to walk you through some of the courses and show you some of the different classes that you could pick if you decide to take this route. Now, I know 60 hours sounds like a ton of time, especially if you have a full-time job or other things going on in your life that prevents you from being able to sit inside a classroom all the time. That's why we suggest you check out Calibri Real Estate. They offer classes online that makes it a lot more flexible for you to get this done. There is an affiliate link down in the description below where you're able to access different sales and discounts. If you click that link, I'm going to walk you through some of the options that they have in order for you to get your pre-license education completed. So once you get on this page, you're going to notice there's a couple different options. You have the Ultimate Learning Package, you have the Exam Preparation Plus, and the Exam Preparation. Now, this just basically means the things that you get with each package. If you notice, this one has instructor question and answer sessions, plus live interaction, and this one has some additional things such as job aids, buyer and seller checklists, and how-to videos. So I would highly suggest you check out each one and see which one is best for you. But in my opinion, I really like the one in the middle here that has the live instructor access. I don't necessarily need all this extra stuff, but it is nice to have an instructor to ask questions to and take you through this process. Another thing I really like about it is these simulated exams. This can help you pass the real estate exam a lot easier, and this is something that I highly recommend. Now, once you complete your pre-license education classes, it's time to schedule your exam. Now, I would take about 2 weeks to study before you actually book the exam and go take it. I would give yourself this time to time block, study hard, and really put yourself through some hard study time. That way you can retain as much information as possible and give yourself the highest chance of passing this exam. When you get there on test day, I would bring 2 forms of identification and a basic non-scientific calculator for the math portion of the exam. On the actual exam, you're going to be met with 130 test questions in 4 hours to take this exam, and it's all multiple choice, so make sure you don't rush through this process. Now, I do want to give you some tips to help you pass this exam. The very first tip is to skip questions that you don't know the answer to. If you come across questions that you just don't know the answer to, make sure to skip over those and come back to them at the end once you've completed all the questions that you do know the answer to, and then you'll have the confidence to be able to reread it and hopefully answer it right. The next tip is not to rush through the exam. If you rush through the exam, you have a much higher chance of failing. And the thing is with these questions is sometimes they're a little tricky, so I highly suggest you reread them multiple times before you submit your answer, because they can be tricky and you don't want to start answering questions wrong that you actually know the right answer to. So make sure you read them multiple times. You have plenty of time. Tip number 3 is look into study tools. When I pass my exam, I use these study tools. I use Prep Agent myself, and there's other tools like CompuCrim that you can use. These put you through test-like simulations and really increase your odds of passing on test day. I'm going to put an affiliate link down below if you want to check out CompuCrim or Prep Agent to help you pass the exam. Now, pass or fail. If you pass the exam, it's time to celebrate, because a lot of agents fail the first time. Make sure you celebrate because you're one step closer to getting your real estate license. Now, if you failed the exam, don't stress, because a lot of agents fail the exam. If you failed the first time around, it's not a big deal. Just go study again, try harder, and take it again, because not everybody's a good test taker, and it doesn't mean you're going to be a bad real estate agent. So many agents fail the exam the first try and go on to become top producing agents, and sometimes they fail multiple times, so it's not a big deal. Keep your head in the game and don't quit so easy. Now, let's talk about the background check. This is where they're gonna look into your background and make sure you have nothing on your record that would prevent you from getting your license. This costs $25 and it takes a couple weeks to complete this process, so make sure to get it done while you're going through your pre-license education. This way, you don't have any holdups when you get time to actually submit your application. Now, let's talk about picking a sponsoring broker. This is the fun part of the process, but it's a very serious part of the process, because if you pick the wrong sponsoring broker, you're gonna be in for a big headache. A lot of agents fail out of this business because there's not a ton of support, and it's kind of one of those industries that are sink or swim, and there's not a lot of training for new agents. A lot of real estate brokers don't have the training in place for new agents, so you want to make sure you ask these questions up front so you pick the right brokerage that's going to be a good fit for you and you avoid all the challenges that come along with being a new agent. The very first question to ask is there a mentorship program in place? Now, most brokerages will have a mentorship program for new agents, but you want to ask when you can contact that agent. Can you contact them on the weekends? Can you contact them on the weekdays? When can you contact them and when can't you contact them? One of the most frustrating things is going through this process and having a new client or something exciting going on in your business and you can't get in touch with your mentor because it's a certain day of the week. So make sure you ask this question up front. Next, what kind of training do you offer? Most brokerages don't offer a ton of training for new agents. Sometimes they'll have live in-person classes that you can attend, but a lot of them don't have a step-by-step process on how to start your business as a new agent, and we're gonna be coming out with an academy for that soon. But ask the question up front, because some brokerages do have really great training for new agents. They're just few and far between. So ask what they have in place that's going to take you through step by step on how to launch your business. This can be a course, this can be modules, this can be live in-person training, but you want something specific to new agents. And this is a very important question. And this is something totally separate from your mentor, because your mentor is there to help you get unstuck and help you through challenges, but they're not necessarily going to be able to sit down in a organized format and teach you step by step how to launch your business. That's where things go wrong, and that's because many mentors have been in the business 10 years and they haven't really been able to come up with an outline and take you through this process step by step. So it's not their fault, but that's why a lot of new agents feel lost and they feel like they struggle once they get their license. Next question to ask is, how will I generate leads? This is a very, very important question, because one of the most challenging things about being a real estate agent is generating clients and getting new business in the door. So make sure you ask this question up front. Is the broker going to provide you leads? Are you going to have to pay for leads on your own? Or are they just going to have you reach out to friends and family? If you have a big sphere of influence and a lot of people you know, this might work totally fine. But if you're new in town and you don't know many people, you might want to join a brokerage or a team that has inbound leads, or even an inside salesperson setting appointments and passing those leads off to you. So make sure you ask these questions up front based on the kind of business that you want to build. Now, what about commission splits? This is a big question, and it's a question that a lot of new agents focus on too much, in my opinion. But make sure you ask the question on what kind of commission split you're going to get, and make sure that it matches the value that you're getting from that brokerage, because if it doesn't, you're overpaying, and as a smart business person, you don't want to do that. Now, once you've got your background check passed and completed and back, you've got your pre-licensed education complete, you've passed your real estate exam, and you found your sponsoring broker, it's time to package all that information up and apply for your real estate license. Once you do that, it's going to take a couple weeks to get back, but you're on your way to getting your real estate license. Now, you might be wondering, how much does this all actually cost, and how much should I budget to start this process? Well, we got you covered. Here's all the numbers that I was able to find. Pre-licensed education classes should cost you anywhere between $300 and $500 depending on which package you pick. From there, you have your sponsoring broker. Some brokerages charge a onboarding fee. It could be anywhere from $0 to $250. And this is just to get you onboarded to the brokerage so you can get started. Then you have your fingerprinting and your background check fee, which we estimate at about $25. Then we have the real estate exam itself. In Hawaii, your real estate exam is going to cost you $61 to take. And then you have a license application fee, which I included a lot of different things into that go into it. But in total, it's going to cost you around $293 from here. So all in all, I estimate you have a total cost associated with getting licensed between $929 and about $1,100, just to give you a ballpark idea. So all in all, it really doesn't cost that much money to get your real estate license in Hawaii. And in my opinion, getting your real estate license and getting into this career has so much upside considering the low costs to get started. So if you're looking to get started as a real estate agent, drop it in the comment section below. I definitely want to hear from you, and I want to hear how you're doing with this process. Thanks again for tuning in, and you have an awesome day.